Nick Houston here for Gotham Sound and Communications with Nancy from Q5X. Nancy, thanks for taking the time.
This is going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will remind people watching at home that we are live. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments and we will get them to Nancy.
Great.
All right, so Nancy, Q5X, what's going on? We have this mic in the water.
We have this mic in the water. This was not an accident, Nick. This is how we were attracting people into the show. I've been joking with my booth mates. This is like crowd bait. You sit this right here, somebody's walking by, you knock the table, in it goes, they're shocked, things splash, and then I pick up a microphone and dunk it in too. And we can watch that it's still live up here, so we can see that that is responding. Check, check. Take this out, check, 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 check. So no problem at all. Your gear's going to get wet, and it's going to be okay.
And that, what lav is that? That's the...
This is a Duraplex from Shure. And so what's unique for us, and what I wanted to talk to you about today, is we've spent the last 2 years not tweaking our audio, because it's where we want it to be. It's how do we create the ecosystem around our transmitter, and that's where Q5X is really focused, is the transmitter. But you can't live as a transmitter alone. You've got to have a microphone. Our connectors are unique. So this is a 6-pin Limo, and you just can't get that from Countryman or Shure or Sanken. You've got to have a specialty connector. So that's something that we've focused on the needs of our users, is more accessible microphones. So if you've got a microphone or you want a microphone from another supplier, send them to us. We'll put on our custom terminations, and then you're good to go. So whether it's a 6-pin for the AquaMic, or whether it's a tiny little one-pin
Limo.
for the Limo here.
Yeah, and you guys are great and super fast at that also.
Super fast, turn your stuff around, and then you've got fresh mics.
Yeah, and so we talked about integration, right? So integration with the mics, but also, now that you have this partnership with Shure, here's your mic control screen. What's going on over here?
So this is brand new at this show, and what's unique about what we're able to do now is we're able to view and control the receiver telemetry. We've never been able to do that before. So where other organizations have their receiver and their transmitter, and their control system is probably proprietary to how those two things talk to one another. For us, it's our transmitters and anybody's receiver. So as we roll this out, there's going to be more and more receivers that the mic control integrates with.
So, the mic control, let's say, this AquaMic LAD10.
The one in the drink?
The one in the drink. And QTAD10, you can change the frequencies and all sorts of things straight from there on both.
Correct. And let me dish this out again, and you can look at it. The reason why the AquaMic is now also IP68 rated to 100 feet.
Wow.
Not that you're gathering sound down there, but if your gear falls off your extreme fishing boat show, you can dig it up and it's going to still work. The reason why that's possible is there's no buttons. There's no battery compartment. So how do you control this thing? We always had remote control functionality so that you control all the Q5X mics from a mic commander. But if you've got 300 microphones like you see behind you for the Radio City Music Hall Rockettes, you don't want to be scrolling through 300 transmitters on a screen this size. So mic control has always given you the option of controlling that many transmitters on one screen.
So so it looks like this is connected via USB into the mic commander, and then you get all that control from the computer.
Correct.
Got it.
The same functionality is there, but if you're going to have multiple groups that you want to turn on and off as the cast comes on and off the stage, or your teams come in and out of the dressing room, this allows better functionality of that group control. So to put everything on standby as you get the transmitters placed in the costumes, the jerseys, the wigs, the hair pieces, wherever it is, you can have all of that assembled in advance, put it on standby, and then from the distance of about across a Aussie Rules football field, you can turn the transmitters on and off and maintain their battery life.
Got it, okay. So we'd also talked about, so we know that Q5X is known for sports.
Yes.
And you mentioned Broadway.
Yes.
But you also, we talked a little bit more about accessibility for other things. So what are the things that you're kind of showing off for that?
Spent some time recently out in LA trying to describe the features of what we've always marketed as the PlayerMic. It's flexible, safe for sports, and this is what's used for the NBA and other sports teams, because if you fall on this, it's soft, it's rubber, it's pliable, and it feels really, really safe. But it's also the thinnest profile, I think, on the market still. I haven't done a walkabout to see the new specs this year, but that's really thin. And if you're going to mic me, I'm not going to let you put something bulky around my waist. So I like the idea of a thin profile. I could shove this in a bra strap very simply. I can attach it to a clip and be able to place that anywhere I want it.
And the clips are new, is that right?
The clips are new. So often the clips are metal pointy ends that go into the side of the transmitter, and that wasn't appropriate for our PlayerMic. This is the smaller version of our PlayerMic that has a 3.5 hour battery life as opposed to 8. And there's the little clip. It slides off like that. And you can put it on in both orientations. So if you wanted to place it on a belt or across your back, you'd be good to go.
Got it, okay. And then, so that is a pretty important accessory, but you've got some other accessories because people are always using them in pouches and straps.
That's right, Nick. So that's one of the questions we get a lot. Your transmitters are great, but how do we place this? And too often we've left our users on their own to say, oh, there's third-party products that you can buy. Well, we've moved past that. We're removing every barrier we possibly can. And this is an array of pouches that a third party has produced for us, but we've private labeled. So you've got options like this one. This is an Ursa strap, as an example. And you would wear that across your back.
Okay, the back strap, yep.
Or a gun pouch, right? Does it not kind of feel CSI-ish?
It does look a little bit
put a gun
like
there.
That.
So there's lots of options for pouches that sew in or place in to give users that ability.
Well, and you're wearing about 30 different transmitters right now, but you're wearing something.
It's kind of a Where's Waldo, don't you think? Like, do you think it's 30? It could be.
It could be. But you also have a thigh strap on, right?
I do.
Okay.
So there's an example, and this is actually another addition this year, is that we've got the ability, because this is rubber, we can customize these. So if you want these in theater colors to be more discreet, this is a new product called the Chameleon. And so it's meant to be all the functionality of the PlayerMic, but with that color codability. We can't do Pantones, don't send us a number like 323. We're talking about color coding like blue, red, green, not forest green or topaz.
Okay, got it. So nothing crazy specific, but as a general thing, you could order a custom color.
You could. You could. And if you want several microphones that are, or several transmitters that are all consistent colors, that may help your workflow. If one cast or one crew has a particular color and you want to keep those together, or if you've got talent that wants their personal transmitter, we've got some cool ones back at the shop that I personally love that are tie-dyed, and they're just fun. Because this is rubber.
Cool.
You can mix them up and make anything you want.
Wow, okay. All right, so custom colors, and also if you were working on teams, let's say, reality show, or basketball, or like having the red team and the blue team, or however, could make it very easy to keep track of.
Correct. And then there's simple little accessories that are out there. These boots that are on the Mic Commander, those are just an aftermarket thing. And if you see at the top of our stands here, we're showing them in red and blue. So you could have a situation where just for somebody's workflow, so there were no accidents on set, you could have your transmitters color-coded to the same color of your Mic Commander that those are paired with.
Got it, okay. Is there anything that we have missed?
I would say the other thing is placement of transmitters. Sorry, placement of microphones. People are asking, how do you affix those? Well, can we see it?
We see it.
There we go.
Is that an LMC furry?
It is a Bumblebee.
Bumblebee, okay.
It's a Bumblebee with a Countryman B6 behind it,
okay.
affixed to my skin. I'm not planning to be sweaty here at the show, so I think it's going to stay where it's going to where it is right now.
Great.
If I was concerned about that, I would probably run some medical grade tape along the inside.
Okay.
And the question we get from people is, what exact tape are you using? The NBA All-Star Game, they run double-face toupee tape on the jerseys, place the microphone wire on top of that, and then layer on medical grade tape so that it's against the skin and doesn't chafe the players. So those are some tips of the trade that we use.
So you're not only doing the things for your own products, but you're doing education for your customers.
This is not well known in the industry. People are used to big bulky clips, big bulky packs, and changing out batteries. That's not us.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to be waterproof, or at least Maytag proof, that it would go through a washing machine. As long as you tape up the battery charger hole on the PlayerMic, you get some sweat proofness from that. So we're known for that, and if that's going to happen, you can't have buttons.
Yeah, got it. Okay, let me open it up to questions.
Great.
Joey, do we have any questions for Nancy?
No further questions at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to share about Q5X or what you guys are up to or anything for the future?
I would say in this particular environment, we've talked about the PlayerMic and its flexibility. We've talked about the AquaMic. The third one that we have in both digital and analog, and the digital ones are compatible only to Shure receivers, would be the CoachMic. And when you said earlier, Nick, that I was wearing 30, I think I'm wearing 4 right now. But the CoachMic is right here.
Okay.
And so this has an integrated mute switch on the top. Big rocker switch that I can manage myself through my clothing. This one happens to be a dummy, but when it's live, there's a slight blue light that I can see out of the corner of my eye. And so that allows me to manage my mute. Now you've got techs who are in the audience going, I don't want that. I don't want my talent to mute themselves. But that's where this comes in. So you can override that mute.
So you can defeat it.
You can defeat it. So if I've muted it to come down off a podium, if I'm doing a large presentation, this is what I use. It's called a CoachMic, but I use it for corporate presentations.
Yeah.
If I'm going to have a private conversation with you, I'll mute it, but then of course I'm going to forget when I get back up on the stage.
I see, but you can manage it yourself.
I can manage it myself if I'm getting the stink eye from the guy in the corner, or they can turn it back on for me.
Great. All right. Awesome. Nancy, thank you again so much for taking the time.
Awesome, Nick. Thanks for the opportunity.
Awesome. All right. As always, you can watch this video and more at gothamsound.tv. For all the latest news, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Oh, and there's a question, so never mind. Go ahead. What do you got, Joe? What do you got, Joey?
What's the way to charge the waterproof transmitters?
Excellent question. So your audience has heard the question, what's the way to charge these? So the microphone connector also doubles as your charging port.
I see. So 2 of the pins in there, let's say, take power, and the other pins are for the mic itself.
And until we reorganized ourselves here to set up for the video, I think we had the charging dongle right here.
Got it.
But it attaches on one end here and USB on the other end.
And what is the charging time and the battery life on the waterproof?
So this one is the AquaMic L, and it stands for long, meaning not long in size, like the PlayerMic, but long life.
Long life.
This one is 16 hours.
Oh,
so you've got lots of time on this.
So let's hope that's all day.
Hope that's all day. And remember, though, with the Mic Commander, if you're not using them, you can power them right down. So 16 hours, that is a very long day if you've been able to manage your power through the day as well.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Joey, any other questions?
No more questions.
All right, great. So I want to mention one thing, and then we'll do our sign-off. We already know about watching this video and more. We do have demos available at gothamsound.com. So within your questions that you may have contacting us, if you'd like to schedule a demo of a PlayerMic and another wireless system, contact us at info@gothamsound.com. We'll be happy to send it out so you can try out the Q5X. Thank you so much again. Stay tuned for more from NAB 2022.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Nancy.